polish the blaster.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the 4th devlog for Dread Protocol. First off, sorry it's been a little while since I've uploaded. I recently started a new job, and while I've still been working steadily on the game, the devlogs had to take a short break. I'm making this video now because I've just released a huge update to the demo and wanted to talk through some of the changes. What's new, what's improved, and what's next. If you like the look of the game, it'd mean a lot to me to give it a wishlist on Steam. I've just passed 650 wishlists, and I'd love to hit 1,000 before next fest in June. So the biggest change in this update is to the star map. For those who haven't played the demo yet, or the game faster than light, the star map is the navigation phase of Dread Protocol. It's where you choose which station to board next. Different stations have different themes and randomized effects, so your decisions matter. You need to think carefully about which one you're prepared to take on. That system works and serves its purpose, but it was missing something that I loved about Faster Than Light: exploration. That's why I've introduced unknown sectors. Unknown sectors are new locations on the star map that don't usually result in boarding a station. Instead, they're a creative sandbox for writing dynamic encounters. I've intentionally front-loaded the earlier station types with more variety. I call this the Christmas tree spread. Since Dread Protocol is a tough roguelike, most players won't make it far into a run, and that's true even after multiple attempts. So it's important that the early game stays rich and surprising, no matter how many times you see it. But I also wanted to make sure that if you do make it deep into a run, you're still hitting new content. And that's where unknown sectors come in. They're scattered throughout the star map and act as a wildcard. That means I need to write a lot of events. So I hired a part-time writer. His name is Alex, and although he's just started, he's already crushing it. He completely gets the tone I'm going for, low, gritty sci-fi, and he's having a blast building out the world. I've given him a Notion board with over 100 event ideas to work from if he gets stuck, but he's also been creating a bunch of encounters independently without needing my input. And bringing Alex on has freed me up to focus on something equally as important: polish. Polish is where I spent the majority of my time since the last devlog.
Why is it not shooting? Oh. Something went horribly wrong. That went horribly wrong. That was fun. That went horribly wrong.
The general feedback has been pretty consistent. The game is fun, it's ambitious, but it's also janky as hell. So that's been my main focus: smoothing out the rough edges and making everything feel tighter, more responsive, and just better to play.
Although that animation is not sure what that's all about, but anyway.
In no particular order, here are some examples of me doing exactly that. Pick up colliders. I noticed players really struggled to pick up weapons from loot boxes. This was because I relied on the small physical collider around the weapon. I've since added a much larger sphere collider, which feels great and is a lot more forgiving. Dumb AI. In Dread Protocol, you have a permanent squad of 4 additional crew members. They can be purchased in between runs at the home base.
If you want any of my squad, it'll cost you.
Called in from reinforcement beacons, or recruited from various encounters on the star map. In the previous update, they were idiots, running into walls, shooting at dead bodies, and trying to take on the entire station alone.
You shooting me, buddy. You gotta chill there with that.
I fixed all of that. After a fight, they now revert back to following the player. It's still not perfect, but they're way more tolerable. Drop pod warnings. There are several scenarios in the game where drop pods can fall out of the sky. This can happen during ambushes when you destroy the warp core, during encounters where enemy reinforcements are sent in, or even when you're the one calling in support. The problem was, players found these moments way too chaotic. Drop pods often came out of nowhere with no warning, and the sudden spike in difficulty felt unfair. To fix this, I added a warning UI for the incoming drop pods and slowed down the spawn rate, giving the players time to react and catch their breath. Health and shield UI.
We're gonna use our slice of pizza here. I wish I could see my health on this screen.
In hindsight, this one was painfully obvious. I've now added health and shield stats to the star map, the inventory screen, and the store. Item magnetism. Previously, players had to awkwardly walk into gear to pick it up. Now, gear snaps to you just like fuel cells, boons, and credits do. Narrator volume. Another common frustration was players could barely hear the narrator on the star map, especially compared to other voices and sounds. To fix that, I gave the narrator their own mixer channel and boosted it by 5 decibels. I can also route any other quiet voice lines through the same channel with a single ball. I've added a radio filter to all star map dialogue to give it a low-tech sci-fi feel.
Unidentified vessel
Respond promptly if interested in a proposition.
Did you know that you can add effects to the mixer channel in Unity? I used a high pass, low pass, and compressor to get the effect, all controlled through the mixer using these settings. Stripped down dialogue. I've also started trimming back the dialogue on existing star map encounters. This has become the standard for all new events. Skill check probability percentage. All skill checks on the star map now display a probability percentage. Gives players a clearer sense of the risks involved and how their stats actually affect the outcome. Just a side note, those same 4 core stats also impact the shooting part of the game. I've also been doing a ton of visual polish, especially on level layout and corridor variety, but I'll save that for the next devlog. That's it for this update. The demo's live now, check it out, wishlist the game, and let me know what you think. Thanks again for all the support, and see you in the next one.